Hello again. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to show up an image using the Oxygen framework. It's pretty simple to show an image on the framework. So what we're going to need is a resource file, our image, and that's it. So let's go into the data folder here. And where these three files are, we're going to go ahead and make a new folder. I'm going to call it images. Inside of this images folder, I'm gonna put in an image. I already got an image. It's a simple little play button. So now that we've done that, we can go into Visual Studios and create a resource file. Let's go ahead and create a new one. Under web, yep, XML file. Let's go ahead and name it res. Make sure you don't add this file into the source folder. It needs to go into the data folder. If you don't put it into the data folder, it won't work because you need a directory of the data folder to point to the image. So make sure that's selected and click add. Now we got this. Now let's create some tags here. Resources. Now, instead of resources, we're going to go ahead and say set path equal to images. Now, what this does is this set element it points to our images folder so that we can grab our play button. Now, I'm going to create another tag called Atlas. Inside of that, we're going to make another tag called images. Nope, just image. Go do file. Our play button. There you go. Now, if you have a sprite sheet, you can add another property into this element called cols. So pretty much COLS. You would tell it how many columns you have. I'm not gonna get into that in this tutorial. This is just to show you how to bring up an image into Oxygine. So this is good enough to bring in our play button image. So now in main, we're going to go ahead and include a class that we're going to create, which I'm going to call it, can't call it button, because if you see right here, Oxygine already has a name for that. So I'm going to call it play button .h. Make sure you don't do that, because then you'll have ambiguous errors and it's just another headache. So moving on, just add a new, let's create our class now, header file. Make sure you're pointing back at your source. Let's go ahead and name it play button, edit, add Oxygine framework using namespace Oxygine. Let's make our class play button, and we are going to extend off of sprite. You don't have to extend off of sprite. You can extend off of actor and then just add a sprite variable into that. So just know you don't have to. But I'm going to do it this way because it's a simpler route. Let's go ahead and do that. Public and our private. Let's go ahead and make our constructor and deconstructor. Okay. Now we're going to need one variable since we extended off of sprite. What we're going to need is our resources. I'm just going to call it res. And that's pretty much all this class needs. So let's go ahead and type def this class. That way, when it's out of the stack, it automatically deletes this this class. Let's go ahead and say play button. Pointer play button. There you go. You don't have to do it this way. You can say declare smart. The name of the class and sp play button. So this is a smart pointer. You can do it either way, declare smart or this. I'm doing it this way. So let's make our source file. Play button. Whoops. Okay. Add our header. Play button. Our constructor. And our deconstructor. Play button. Okay. Now, since we have this variable right here in our private section, we're gonna go ahead and grab our XML file. So it's just the name of the variable dot load XML and the name of your XML. I named mine res dot XML. Now, since we extended off of sprite, we don't have to call a variable that holds the sprite properties and having to add it into the actor. We can just say set res name, and we'll get res variable, which is our resource, and we'll say get res name, and we're gonna say play, which is the name of my file for my play button. Save that. Now that we did this, this sets our image to this class. So now when I go into main.cpp, since we've already added it, inside of the init, I'm going to create my button, play button. Just gonna call it play button equals a new play button. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the stage, and we are going to add our button as a child to our stage. And there you go. This should be good enough. Let's go ahead and compile this. That's weird. Anyways, so there's our image. Congratulations. You just brought up an image into Oxygine. Now, if you were wondering what this is and you haven't clicked on it or anything, if you click this helmet thing right here, it shows you what's active at the moment. So you see we got the stage, which we added our little sprite into. And our sprite is that simple to bring in an image into Oxygine Framework. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do the sprite sheet. So stay tuned for that one.